All right.
Oh,
Well, I'll go ahead and begin. Well, my name is Angela Chamberlain. I live in Cary, North Carolina. I am recently a new mother of now two little boys.
wow.
So I have a
Mhm,
2.5-year-old and a 7-month-old.
mhm,
Um, I had quit my job last year because of the pandemic,
mhm.
and I was self-employed. I was working in fitness and wellness at that time. I was a personal trainer. I
Do
kind
you
of
still like that? Do you still like doing fitness and training, or because of COVID, you kind of want to get away from it?
I'm pivoting. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've decided that I'm pivoting. And I think when I first contacted you, it was on my mind. And
Mhm.
now I just don't think that in terms of the priorities that I want to, the things that I want to prioritize in my life, having some flexibility with my family, I think a training schedule where I have clients very early in the morning and they like to also come in later in the evening. It's just not going to work for me.
Right, right.
And so I did a lot of research since the last time I contacted you
Great.
and into the trucking industry and have recently created an LLC for a freight dispatching company.
Okay.
So that's where I am right now.
So tell me a little bit more about that vision. What did you envision you would do with the freight? Because I noticed you said dispatching, which is
Mhm.
very key. So what did you envision? Tell me what that pre-vision business model looks like.
So one of my biggest concerns about this industry is that it is very overhead intensive and that commercial drivers are in a bit of a shortage right now. So trying to find drivers to drive for you is going to be a little bit tricky. So I kind of decided to take a step back
Mhm,
and did some research and found out that the barrier to entry into trucking is very low, at least in the dispatching side of the business.
mhm.
You don't need anything too formal. You literally just need to know how to um, read load boards, and really the hardest part is finding carriers.
Mhm.
So finding the drivers and actual carriers to begin dispatching. My brother-in-law is a commercial truck driver,
Mhm.
and I have talked to my sister, and I would say our 6-month goal is to get our own truck and get our own authority, and then that I can begin dispatching for my brother-in-law.
Mhm.
But right now, in the interim, while I'm still doing more research, as in where I'm going to get the truck, because there are various options, there's
Right.
lots of different things going on in that particular field. So I'm starting to research how to purchase them in auctions. But right now, I'm really using dispatching learn
Learn the business.
to learn the
Yeah,
business.
no, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
To,
So
to
let me stop you right there. You jump in, and if you want to ask me some questions about things. I do get the picture. I know, fortunately for you, a lot about trucking.
Okay.
And look, you're probably not surprised, but I am very fortunate that, and very, very, very fortunate that I have done business with and had clients from all different types of industries. And so it makes me very fortunate, but I am very good at understanding people's vision because I'm
Mhm,
more of a business developer. Government
mhm,
contracting is just one of those streams of income. So I completely get what you're saying. And
mhm,
I could see you going in some different directions. But let me
mhm,
just say to you, it's so funny how trucking was great for a minute. The need was great for just a minute during COVID.
mhm,
Now it's turned completely different.
mhm,
And like where
mhm.
there's a shortage. There's been a shortage for a while, to be honest with you. There's been a shortage for a while. So there's been a lot of work
Mhm.
for drivers that have their own trucks and all of that. But the problem is, Angela, a lot of these privately owned uh, drivers and that have their own companies, a lot of them do not know the business side at all.
Right,
They
right.
don't know how to get their own work.
Right.
So, were you thinking something about that?
Yes, that is basically the situation that my brother-in-law is in, is he's always wanted to own his truck, but
Mhm,
he has admittedly said, I have no interest in knowing about operations, business operations, or how to manage the business side of things. He said, I'm okay with managing the fleet, and I know things about trucks, I know mechanics.
mhm,
He knows what it's like to be in a truck. I
mhm,
have no aspirations to get a commercial driver's license. I have two little boys at home. I'm
mhm.
not driving a truck.
Now, does he feel like he knows how to get business for the
Um,
fleet?
I think right now he is working with someone who is an investor who
Mhm,
just owns a truck, and he's just driving for this guy that he happens to know that owns a truck. And we have been in discussions with him pivoting away from that guy
mhm,
and starting to work together. He
mhm,
has the contacts, and he is very keenly aware that the relationships and the interactions that he has will be critical
mhm,
for our business to succeed.
mhm,
Um, that's what I don't have access to,
mhm.
and I'm not necessarily, I know that I don't want to be out there on the front lines.
Right, and this would actually be a perfect business for you, to stay home with your children and,
Mhm.
do all of the things you need to do. It would be perfect because there are a lot of drivers out there that need help with lots of things. If they don't have a wife or a girlfriend or a
Mhm.
sister that's helping them, a lot of them are in trouble. So they only know, the basic stuff. Like they're the opposite of you. They know how to be on the road, and a lot of them
Right.
like driving. I will tell
Mhm.
you, in reference to government contracting, they are looking for women to be more in the government contracting business,
Right.
on because it's an industry where a lot of the big guys have been making a lot of the money. But you do
Mhm.
need to have different streams of income, because with government contracting and freight, you do see some perfect opportunities, but a lot of those opportunities, if they're not by themselves, like picking up something from the federal government and taking it to another location, that's what you want. I mean, that's very simple. And those are really, usually really, really good bids, meaning
Mhm.
they're profitable.
Right.
However, those very basic ones, they don't come along all the time just as simple as that. Now, I'll tell you what I do see a lot of,
Mhm.
which I think this is definitely an area for women to get into. I see a lot of, where they need guys to have their own truck and come and pick up furniture and move this furniture or this equipment to another
Mm.
side of the country. I see a lot of that. I
Mhm.
see more of that than I do on the traditional, delivering something. Like when I do my government contracting, I need a trucker. Like when I had that big paint contract, I needed a trucking company to come and pick that up from my paint manufacturer and deliver it, drive it across the country. You will get those too. But,
Mhm.
and there are a lot of people like me. So you have a lot of different, users, so to speak.
Mhm.
But when it comes to government, I think that it is a good place to be because they do move a lot of things. They move a lot of
Mhm.
equipment.
Mhm.
And then there are people like me that may get that bid
Mhm.
and then need you to move it.